Okay, next experiment in a control system lab is synchro transmitter and a receiver pair. The aim of the experiment is to study the synchro transmitter and a receiver. A theory behind this synchro transmitter and receiver is a synchro is an electromagnetic transducer commonly used to convert an angular position of shaft into an electrical signal, where by using of the synchro we will be converting from mechanical energy to the electrical energy. And the basic synchro is usually called as a synchro transmitter, and its construction is similar to that of the three-phase alternator. The stator, that is stationary member, is of a laminated with the silicon steel and is slotted to accommodate a balanced three-phase winding, which is usually a concentric coil type. Then three identical coils are placed in and the stator winding with their axis 120 degree apart, and it is connected in terms of a Y connection. The rotor is a double bell construction and wound with a concentric coil. The construction will be like this: double bell, and for this a work coil is connected. An AC voltage is applied to the rotor winding through the slip rings. Next, let an AC let an AC voltage of VR of T is going to be equals to VR sin omega CT, taken in equation 1, be supplied to the rotor of the synchro transmitter. This voltage causes a flow of magnetizing current in the rotor coil, which produces a sinusoidally time-varying flux directed along its axis. From the supply, a current is going to be generating. From the current, a magnetic flux is going to be generating along its axis and distributed nearly sinusoidal in the air gap along the stationary periphery. Because of the transformer action, voltages are introduced in the each of the stator coils. Each of stator coil, a voltage is going to be introduced. As the air gap flux is sinusoidally distributed, the flux linking with any stator coil is proportional to the cosine of the angle between the rotor and to the stator coil's axis, and so its voltage induced in each stator coil. The stator coil voltages are of course in time phase with each other. The stator coil voltages are in phase with each coil. Thus, we see that the synchro transmitter, that is TX, acts like a single phase transformer in which rotor coil is the primary and the stator coil is working as a secondary. Then let VS1N and VS2N, VS3 respectively be a voltages induced in the stator coils S1, S2 and S3 with the respect to the neutral. Then for rotor portion of the synchro transmitter shown in figure, the figure here, it is shown here. We'll remove. This is our stator winding of a transmitter and it is for the receiver. Here S1, this is S1, S2, S3, S1 dash, S2 dash and S3 dash. These are connected like this in these positions. Then rotor winding of the transmitter and rotor windings of the receiver. Here from this we will be supply, will be given AC line. Okay, based on the supply, rotor winding starts working to the stator winding of the transmitter. Based on this, how much the let's see, supply will be going, how you are going to change with the rotor position with respect to the stator. That position is going to be varying as with the receiver position. Transmitter, how much the angle it will be changing, the same position it will be changed by the receiver also. Then we where the rotor axis makes an angle 0 with respect to axis with the stator coils S2. Let VS1 that is going to be equals to K with respect to number of turns, that is going to be kVr sin omega cos sin omega ct, then cos 0 plus 120 degree change it's going to be. Then Vs2 is going to be kVr sin omega ct cos 0. Then Vs3 with then kVr sin omega ct cos 240 degree, it will be changing. The three terminal voltages of a stator winding, it's going to be Vs1 to S2, Vs1 minus Vsn2, then you will be getting as 3 kVr sin 0 plus 240 sin omega ct. Then Vs2, Vs3, Vs2 minus Vs1, sorry, Vs2 minus Vs3, then 3 kVr sin 0 plus 120 degree plus sin omega ct. This I can write here as 3 kVr sin 0 sin omega ct, where 0 is 0 from equation 2 and 3. It is seen that the maximum voltage is induced in the stator coil of S2, while it follows from the equation 7, that is terminals of Vs3 and Vs1 is 0 also. This position of the rotor is defined as the electrical zero of transmitter and is used as a reference for the specifying the angular position of the rotor for the first. Then thus it is seen that the input to the synchro transmitter is the angular position of its rotor shaft, and the output is set of three single phase voltages given by equation 5, 6, 7. The magnitudes of these voltages are functions of a shaft position. The classical synchro system consists of 2 points, that is synchro transmitter and also synchro receiver. Next, the synchro receiver is having almost the same constructional features. The two units are connected, shown in figure 2. In this figure, what we already taken. Initially, the windings S2 of transmitter, stator of the transmitter is positioned for the maximum coupling with the rotor winding. Suppose its voltage is V, the coupling between S1 and S2 of the stator and primary winding is a cosine function. Therefore, the effective voltages in these windings are proportional to the cos 60 degree, or they are V by 2 for each voltage divider for each of the receiver and also for the transmitter. So long as the rotor of the transmitter and the receivers remain in this position, no current will be flowing between windings because of the voltage is in the balanced position. When a rotor of a transmitter is moved to a new position, the voltage is balance is going to be disturbed. Assume that the rotor TX is moved through 30 degrees. Just an example. If the change in the transmitter is of 30 degree, then there is a voltage imbalance between the windings causes the current to flow through the closed circuit, producing a torque that tends to be rotate the rotor of the receiver to new position where the voltage balance is again restored. This balance is restored only if the receiver turns through the same angle as that of the transmitter, and also the direction of the rotation is same as that of the transmitter only. Means how much the position of the transmitter is going to be changing. If it is rotated by 30 degrees in terms of angle only, that much the change should be occurred in the receiver so that the whole circuit will be working in a balanced position. When a change in the angle, it is going to be changed. Let us assume 40 degree change be done for the at the transmitter. Then whole circuit is in a imbalanced position. After imbalance, what is going to be? The torque is going to be produced due to the current, what it's going to be induced to the receiver, so that how much the angle it is rotated, the same angle it has to rotate to by the receiver. If it is a 40 degree, here also it should be a 40 degree angle, it should rotate and in the same direction. Which direction? Clockwise or counterclockwise? Which direction you are moving? The same direction it has to move. That's what here it is telling for us. Then the transmitter receiver pair thus serves to transmit the information regarding angular position at one point to a remote point. What one position to the another position it will be moving off. Next, the procedure for a synchro transmitter. Connect the main supply to the system with the help of the cable provided. Then do not connect any patch cords to terminals are marked as S1, S2 and S3. Switch on the main supply for the unit. Then starting from 0 position, note down the voltages between stator winding terminals VS1, S2, VS2, S3, VS3, S1 in a sequential manner. Enter the reading in the tabular form and plot the graph of angular position of rotor voltage for all 3 phases. And also note that 0 position of the stator rotor coincides with VS1, 2 and VS1 voltages equal to the 0 voltage only. Do not disturb this connection. After this, you have to make the tabular column. You have to write all the readings here. Rotor position, then what is the voltage across S1, S2 and S3 position, you have to make this. And then you have to draw the graph like this. Then procedure for synchro transmitter and receiver pair. Connect the main supply. Connect VS1, S2, S3 terminals of transmitter to S1, S2 and S3 of synchro receiver by patch cords provided respectively. Then switch on and move the pointer, that is rotor position, by how much the angle if you are going to rotating synchro transmitter TX in steps of 30 degrees and observe the new rotor position. Observe the whatever transmission rotor is rotating. The transmitter rotor follows it for both the directions of rotations and their positions are in a good agreement. Then enter the input angular position and the output angular position in the tabular column and plot the graph. What is the angle you are going to be changing in the transmitter? The same thing it will be reflecting to the receiver also. That's what here it is, transmitter input and receiver output. How much the degree you are going to rotate? If you are going to rotate 20 degree, it is rotating with the 20 degree only. How much you are rotating? The same thing here is also affecting in the receiver also. Then if you plot the graph, you will be getting like this graph. Transmitting angle and receiving angle. It will be changing with respect to the transmitter. This is about synchro transmitter and receiver experiment.